Hello everyone, this is your friendly neighborhood techno wizard. Welcome to everybody out there in the Megaverse. I hope you're all having fun. I hope you're all enjoying liberty and freedom. And right now today, I'm reduxing the show because I realized the first one I shot, I was yawning a lot. And it was early morning. That explains the hair. Because I do this from my house. It's actually my home office. I do virtual shows, so this was kind of an easier setup than other people have to do. Alright. I'm going to do skills today. I'm going to cover skills. I'm going to show you how they kind of work and how they kind of build and that kind of thing. So let me do this right here. This is skill day. Okay, there's three kind of categories of skills that come with your OCC, your occupational character class. Now, some RCCs have set skills because you're that species. All that species is confined by these rules, therefore, yeah, they're all confined by those rules, therefore, they have to comply by those rules. Yeah, that's just the way they made them. Remember when we rolled for, I talked about the attribute of intelligence. Attribute of intelligence has the greatest effect on your skills. It gives you a plus. I showed you one, I feel like roll a 21, it's, you get 21, you get plus 7%, and there's percentages go higher. For sake of argument, you get a plus 12 because you got like 35 intel or whatever. Okay. All right. So the three things with skills are your OCC skills, which will be your best skills. Those are effectively the job. These are the skills that you have to have that you would do the most. If you're an electrician or an operator in this case, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, all that kind of stuff, you're going to have a really high skill level because you spent most of your apprenticeship, most likely, fixing things. You are not going to sit there and have a really high, lore skill on magical creatures of South Africa. You're just not. That wasn't, you're like, your buddy talked about it, and you looked up and like, yeah, I'm under a 4-ton engine. Keep your eye on the pressure gauge. So, here's how it goes. You get your OCC skills. Those are your, like I said, those are for your job. And then you have your OCC related skills. These are skills that are directly related to your occupational character class. Like if you're an operator, or mages get a lot of these with like lore, because that would directly be kind of connected to you using magic. You would have a bunch of lore skills. You tend to be like a rogue scholar. Rogue scholar has a bunch of lore skills, but then again in their OCC related skills, they would have a lot of more lore skills or more ability to choose. The OCC skills you don't get to choose. There may be one in there that says like select one espionage skill, select two mechanical skills, or you select, yada, yada, yada. Or it's like weapons, choose one weapons proficiency, something like that. But OCC related is where you really get to kind of tweak your character a little. Like if you want to be a mechanic that deals specifically with like robotics, this is where you tweak your character and you put in your robotics engineering, your robotic electronics, and all that kind of stuff. And that's what you do. It lets you kind of more define your character. In his job, however, this is, I would not buy guns or, unless you're a warrior class. Here. Now, let's get down to secondary skills. Secondary skills are things you kind of learned on the side. This is where you can kind of round out your character. Your guy's a mechanic. Okay. But I want to know some lore about robots. Robot lore. There's a lot of lore skills. You can actually make some up if you really want to. But you use the secondary skills to enhance what you already have. For some characters, I use this as if I'm a very nerdy character or a very like operator, not that much strength. Physical skills I put in this category, or additional weapons proficiencies, because I'm not really losing much. The funny thing is like when you have your OCC related, you get bonuses. Your OCC skills, you get bigger bonuses. Your secondary skills, no bonuses. Like I said, it's something you worked on the side. The best skill to do this with is cooking. I'll describe this as cooking. Cooking is if you have it as an OCC skill. You are a chef. You compete on Top Chef. You compete on Master Chef. I'm going to go get an Iron Chef and I challenge Bobby Flay. That kind of thing. That's what you are. It's your main driving skills. You obviously probably have in Rift's time, you're probably a cook that travels and cooks really rare things. If you have cooking as an OCC related skill, that would be the equivalency of a very good home chef or like a learning prep cook, line cook. Not necessarily you're going to be a chef, but you were a very good cook. If you have cooking as a secondary skill, yeah, you can cook easy meal, yeah. You can cook, maybe a steak or two. You cannot do like petit fours at this point. You cannot do, souffles beyond your capability. Anything you think about that's hard to cook, that takes timing and effort, that's what the kind of skill breakdown is. Now, when you get your skills, you get your OCC, there will be bonuses. Now, say it starts off, and here, let me get to this imagery. That one. All right, merge this two. Here we go. You have, say, let's start off with barter. First one, or actually cooking. Cooking. 35% is the base skill line. That's the person has basically taken the at-home course of how not to kill yourself with it. Cooking. Base skill level. You have this as an OCC skill. You're a chef or some OCC that has cooking in its OCC, which might be interesting. They give you, say, a 30 bonus. Well, here's how this works. Cooking, 35. They give you a 30 bonus. You add 30 percentile to that because, you add 30% to that, getting 65%. Thus, and now you add your intelligence bonus. Like if you have an intelligence bonus of 7, 35, you got now 65. Now you have 72. And the way the skills work is on a 100 percentile scale. So, say you have that skill at cooking, and I need to make the roll for cooking. I'm making the meal for the group tonight. Okay, 82%, I failed. Everybody got salmonella poisoning. They all died. Extreme measure, yeah. I didn't critically fail, so no, but you get the point. Roll that. 10, 18. I made a great meal of whatever's in the kitchen. So, here we go with that again. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Your skills build, and they're one of the key factors in how you interact with the world and how you do all that kind of stuff. Medical engineering, horsemanship, there's a skill to writing, and then there's a skill to doing tricks on it. And these are broad skills. I've gone into this thing where some guy wanted to have a specific skill, and we literally had to make up what it is. So I just took the closest relatable skill and said that was the baseline. And that means, yeah. So, like I said, now if the OCC related skill, you had, like I said, like you managed to get a 72. If you have a secondary skill, odds are you get a less of a bonus. You'd only have a 10%. So you get 45% plus 7, which is your IQ bonus, which makes it 52, which gives you basically a 50-50 chance of making an okay meal. If you have as a secondary skill, you get 35% plus your intelligence bonus, and that's it. So at that point, you have a 42. So at that point, you got a pretty good chance of burning it. So that's how skills work. They're really fun. Go over the skills. They round out your character. The thing with skills is they're how you kind of interact with the world on a professional level. So your OPSI, your occupational character class. If you are a skill-needing Chiba monkey like me sometimes, let me go up here. And ding, 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 ding. See all these skills? And technical skills get really big because you can have a lot. Like, look, there's all these lore skills. Like I've said, these are general categories. And they cover a lot. And there may be, as a GM, there's skill penalties, which I've used before. Let me see if I can do this one. Let me change it back to that look. Merge. Here we go. Yeah, here's skill penalty. If it's harder to do, if it's not effective, if you're not effective at it, if this that's just how it works. There are skill penalties. Penalties apply when something's difficult. Like, oh, stop using the word like, Matt. When you're a mechanic, you come across an alien piece of technology. There's a penalty. If you deal with cybernetics, and all of a sudden there's a cybernetic that's not of standard construction. Laura, this you kind of generally apply if it's something unknown, advanced technology, something just way out of your thing, like a monster that, like with Chaos Rifts, there's a lot of monsters that are attracted to Chaos Rifts that are only attracted to chaos. They basically come to planets during the most chaotic times. You wouldn't know anything about them. If you did hear about them, it was like in one of those lectures where you're talking to your professor and he mentioned something he heard about in a really old dark book. And you kind of like, went and found a book that you liked. Oh, this is a book on ancient things that we think don't exist. And then you read on it. Well, you might remember that. You don't remember the other stuff more. So there's a penalty added. And there's a skill category. So I hope this has helped you with writing up skills and understanding how they kind of work. Like I said, it's a 1 to 100 system. It's a percentile. Now, in Rifts, you can't go above 98% because there's always a chance that you will screw up. Hopefully, not that bad. Hopefully, you do a good job. But there is always that chance. Now, with the weapons proficiencies, they do count as skills, but they only relate to weapons, which, and I'll tell you this flat up, if I've got like a learning character, like a rogue scholar, I tend to take up all the secondary skills, all those last skills that are like his weekend kind of thing. When I basically make him like, after that, you basically put in all the skills you kind of think he should have at least some knowledge of. That's where I put a bunch of weapons proficiencies and like outdoorsmanship and all that kind of stuff. That way, it basically boosts him a little, but he's not going to get that much out of it. Like, stop using the word like. Jeez. Think about it. You're a professor. Your buddy took you to the gun range one time and showed you how to use a pistol. Basically give you basic level proficiency in it. Your character really doesn't like guns, doesn't know how to handle them, but you do know how to handle them now. Your buddy showed you. You kind of picked it up. Maybe you bought yourself one. Or first aid. Okay, your buddy thought you went to a first aid class in secondary school. That's sort of not your main thing, but you can sit there and plug a hole. Other things are like, think about like outdoors. Outdoorsmanship. If you're a wilderness scout, you spent a lot of time in the wilderness, so that's a primary skill. If you're a soldier, this might be a OCC related skill, because you walk through the woods all the time. If you're a rogue scholar who's been in the city most of his life, outdoorsmanship is going to be like a secondary skill because you probably did that like on the weekends. You went out with your buddy, like I said, you have a buddy who's a soldier or a wilderness scout. He said, hey man, I'll show you this really cool lake I found out there. Oh, cool. And you go with him on the weekend. He shows you how to camp. You kind of get a concept of it, but you're not as good as he is. So I would like to tell everybody out there, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy the program. Like, share, subscribe, get this out there. Let's see how many people can get interested in Rifts. Rifts is an awesome game system. I don't know why more people don't like it. Also, if you have any creative art, I brought this up on Reddit when I posted one thing there. If you have any art you want to share, I'd be perfectly willing to put it up on this thing, like at the beginning or the end. Most of the imagery I find is stuff from online. And if it is yours, let me know. I'll give you credit. I found it online. I'm not making any money off this, so I don't have to pay royalties because that only applies if you're making money, apparently. But I would like to give other people credit. I'd also just like to help other people who are creative at a certain point. So if you've got art you want to put up, I'll put it up. The thing is, it has to be kind of Rifts related. And no, I don't show boobies and butts. I don't do that. Not my character. It's another show if you want to do that. Also, graphic imagery like murder stuff like that. No. Rifts art kind of stuff will work. Graphic stuff, not going to put up. But, like I said, that being said, thank you very much for your time. I look forward to hearing any of your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And remember, I do know Chad the man.